So, you're applying to medical school. First of all, congratulations. And hello, my name is Benedicta Ajma Brento. I am a master's student at the University of Massachusetts Lowell studying epidemiology. I am also applying to medical school this cycle, and I am happy to share that I am starting medical school next cycle. So, today I am going to share some tips on how to, adapt to the waiting game that is medical school application. It is a waiting game, and if you did not know that, I'm telling you right now. I would like you to figure out all of these other things that you could do with your time, and stay tuned. In my previous episode, I talked a lot about MCAT resources and all of the different ones that are available, like Kaplan, we have Blueprint, there's AACOMAS, there's UWorld. Some of them were paid, some of them weren't, and I did mention that unless your study habits are just too unstructured and you just need something very dedicated, something very structured, please try and study by yourself, but you have to make sure that you are going to at least find a reliable study schedule. You also want to make sure that you are using UWorld. UWorld is something that is undebatable. You want to be able to apply the content that you learn by doing questions, and the only way to get better and the only way to even learn how to adapt to the MCAT question styles, having to read these passages and having to answer these questions, the only way to do that is by doing practice questions. I also mentioned how important the AAMC materials are, and in fact, it is almost the representative thing that you would want to do, because when you do those full lengths closer to your exam, it gets you the feel of what the exam will be like, because they made the text. You want to make sure that you place yourself in the best position possible to succeed with this MCAT. Okay, so for today's episode, we are going to talk about being able to get through this application cycle, right? It is such a dreading moment. You have all of these pre-meds coming at you. Hey, I have this many interviews. Hey, I have this many rejections. I have this many interview holds. Hey, I've not heard anything. And when I tell you there are literally wars between students, I'm not kidding, all right? When you go to Reddit, as of now, you could see people saying, hey, I've still had no interviews. I've still had 10 rejections. I have 510 and I've not heard back. I have 520, I've not heard anything. Every single person has an opinion and something like a report of some sort of how the application cycle is going. It's just, it gets to a point where people forget that this is a waiting game, right? So the moment that they submit the secondaries, they want a response from the schools like the next day, which is almost impossible. And I was like that. Trust me, when I submitted my secondary in August. Well, it was spread out, but a lot of them were submitted in the end of August, around August 25th. The very last secondary I submitted when I first did my application cycle wave was around September 6th. I later added some schools, so those are different. But when I sent my secondaries in, I expected to hear back from schools almost like the next day, which is like impossible, right? So I'd be on Reddit trying to see how everybody is going, but then you always have to be reminded that this is a waiting game, all right? The cycle goes through May. It goes from May to the following year, almost June, actually. Some people don't even get in until June. There are some people that literally start another school, or they have an apartment set up for another school, but then they get into a school that they would really like to go in. So they quit the school that they're going to currently, and then they go to the other school that just accepted them. So this cycle is just something that's unbearable. You really can't put your hand on it, on why the wait can just be so hard. But I'm going to talk to you, and perhaps we can have some conversation about the best ways to get through these. The first point that I'm going to talk about is passion projects. You need to find something that you're interested in. And I mean interested in, something that you'd really want to spend quality time. When you're spending that quality time with that said interesting thing for you, you would not even have the time to think about Reddit or SDN or how your application cycle is going. Passion projects are very important, and if you are able to have an output or something that you can publish, it becomes a testament for your work, and you will be able to show medical schools later on in the cycle if you do have something to update. So do not sleep on passion projects. Before I even got accepted or anything, I was working on this project called Handy, and this is just a cheat code for me to tell you about Handy. But Handy is practically a technological company that is meant to assist seniors in real life when it comes to navigating different things, whether it's like applying for insurance, applying for food stamps, applying for just anything that they may need. All right, so this is something that has been very dear to me because I live with my grandmother, and she struggles with booking a ride by herself. She can't even call the taxi. It's a whole shebang with her. And it's like, when I do start medical school, I may not be there to handle all of that for her. So how do I best get her in a position that she will be able to get help? And I remembered, okay, think about Be My Eyes. Be My Eyes supply visual assistance to older blind adults. These people adults are connected to volunteers that assist them with like shopping, walking, and all of these other things. So what if we kind of mimic that, but in our case we extend it to administrative tasks and all of these educational aspects and things? So that really started it all. I joined a pitch competition that we actually just finished yesterday. It was such an exciting moment. I got to present. A lot of them really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to how this project really turns out in the future. So really take up a passion project, something that you care about, okay? It doesn't have to be in technology. It could be in anything. You could have a crocheting business. You can do just anything, all right? Anything, and I mean that. I'm also working at the DPH as an intern at part-time. So like, try to occupy yourself with just all of these other things that you need to do. Trust me, there is some sort of goal that you wrote in your journal like 3 weeks, a year ago. Go back to that goal, keep working on them. Be occupied, all right? Thank you. So our next point is point working. And I mean keep working in a sense that you will need money. So in the first point, I said have a passion project. Passion projects may not necessarily pay you, but you need to keep working at least until April, March, so that if you want to travel, you have the luxury too. But do not quit working when you're waiting for a medical school acceptance. Please, please, please. One, you need the money. And two, depending on the work that you're doing, if it's a clinical job, you want to keep working, not only to get the money, because, you know, the moolah is important, but you also want to keep emphasizing your interest in medicine by maintaining your clinical experiences and maintaining all of the experiences, meaningful experiences that you claimed you had when you wrote your essays, right? You want to keep building those relationships with patients, those rapport with all of the people that you're taking care of. You want to keep building your resume in such a way that it helps you not only improve your skills, but also become a well-rounded person. Someone who quit their job and left themselves at 2,000 hours versus you that continued working, you would be at like 5,000 hours by the time you get another interview in the next like 3 months. Or perhaps if you don't get any interview and you decide to reapply, you have the hours to answer when they do ask you, what have you been doing within all of these times? What have you been doing? What have you been doing? That question is very important, and you need to have an answer for that. You need to have an answer for that. My next point is for you to avoid student-doctor network. Trust me, I'm a culprit here. I try, but it's so hard. That's why I did not start off with avoid SDN, avoid Reddit. I try to tell you that, hey, focus on other things that you really care about. Your passion projects, keep working, keep on working on your clinical experiences, because just merely telling you to avoid SDN is not going to cut it. I promise you that. It's so hard. And I'm not sure SDN versus Reddit, which is more toxic, but they all have their own culprits, you know. But SDN essentially has this threads for almost every medical school. You can click on those schools. You can see when each person got their acceptance, when they got their interviews, when they got their wait lists, when they got their interview hold. So it is so hard to keep up. And there are some people that literally compares themselves to others, and I'm like, you should not be doing that, okay? You should not be doing that. Because if someone has a 515 and a 3.5 and they got into the school, and let's say you have a 520, you have a 3.7, you have not even gotten an interview, let alone get accepted to the school, now you're sad. Now you don't know what you did wrong. But here's the thing. Every single person's trajectory when it comes to medical school is different. You need to find peace in the fact that you are different from the person next to you. You're different from the person whose name is similar to you. You're different, even if the person have the same statistics, because guess what? You have a different story. That person has a different story. Being able to come to peace with that will save you so much time. If you cannot avoid SDN at all, try to limit it. Don't go there every 5 minutes, because that for sure will ruin your mental health. It will ruin your mental health. You don't want to mess that up. You want to make sure you are setting yourself up that you have your mental space is just free of any negative energy. SDN is just, there are some people like, oh, this school, they're never sending me an interview. I have a 515 and a 3.9. And it's like, your journey is different from theirs. And the only reason why you're asking that is probably because you've been lurking around and you've seen people getting interviews. Then it leaves you to ask yourself, what about me? And that what about me question not only makes things bad for you, it just ruins your whole mood, if not for the whole day. So, once again, avoid student-doctor network. Only use student-doctor network if only you have an interview and you are looking for potential questions that are asked by the admission committee or the interviewers. You can definitely look on their website and see potential questions for practice. But other than that, please limit the amount of times you visit Student Doctor Network, at least up until you get accepted. My next point, you guessed it, avoid Reddit. So Reddit is like a sister to SDN, except that Reddit is more broader. Reddit has all of these communities that are not involving medicine. SDN, on the other hand, is only, I believe, dedicated to people in medicine. Not only doctor, but NP, I believe PA, dentist, and all of these other parts. But Reddit, there's a subreddit, famous subreddit, by the way. It's called Pre-Med subreddit. It's a sister to SDN. And I would say that the Pre-Med subreddit, I'm not sure which one's toxic. I already mentioned this earlier. Both of them are toxic. Both of them can be toxic. Just make sure that it's always in the way you're using them. But avoid Reddit, I'm talking about particularly the Pre-Med subreddit, in such a way that if you do not have any interviews or any acceptances, please, you're gonna see a lot of people with like flares that says admitted MD, and you're starting to freak out. Please try your best to stay away. Reduce the amount of times you go to this Pre-Med subreddit. I have an example for you. One particular subredditor posted that, hey, what is the turnaround time for interviewers to get back to you after you interview at so-and-so school? I had interviewed at said school, so I replied and said, hey, typically it ranges between like 2 weeks to a month, because I heard back within 15 days. This person was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna hear back around that same time. And I did not like that at all, because that's just not true. And you don't want to put yourself in a position that will get you disappointed. You don't want to disappoint yourself, because if you expect to be accepted at a certain day, you won't get accepted. Or maybe no, you won't. But if you don't get accepted, how are you gonna feel? You're not gonna feel good. You're certainly not gonna feel ecstatic, because trust me, getting accepted is surreal. The feeling is unimaginable. It's out of this world. But why do you want to put yourself in that position where you do not know the outcome of something, and you think you do, and then when the answer doesn't come, or when the outcome doesn't come the way you want it, you're just sad? You shouldn't do that to yourself. That's no bueno. Okay. All right, so my next point is get some hobbies. The reason why I didn't really talk about getting hobbies under passion projects is that passion projects could, turn into like a business idea. I guess hobbies too can turn into business idea, but hobbies should be more so like fun, like taking a walk. Or I like pickleball, I like crocheting. You can't really say pickleball is a passion project, right? Bowling, DJing, content creation. I for sure recently got into DJing. It's been so fun. Being able to mix different songs together has been so nice. Do you know what? I'm actually play you some of the transition that I made. So here we go. All right, now, I have been enjoying this. It has been a rewarding process. I love music, and so when I found out that I could do this on my computer, I'm like, why have I not been doing this for so long? It's been such a fun thing to do, really. So please pick up a hobby, maybe DJing. If not DJing, try some content creation. I like videos as well. I'm multi-hyphenate, okay? I love just doing all of these other simple things. I'm podcasting right now. You could pick up a microphone and podcast, all right? You could write a Substack. You could do so many things with your time when you're waiting for a medical school interview, or even when you're waiting for medical school acceptance. So please try your best to get a hobby. You want to make sure that you are making sure you spend your time in a proper, wise manner, because when you do start medical school, time will be scarce, and we all know time is money. All right, time is money. Okay, now next point: send update letters. Now, a lot of people have different opinions about this. I've sent 2 so far. I've heard nothing. I think I'm gonna keep on sending, but really it's more so to be specific on what you've been doing, how you've grown in like a position, how many hours you've been accruing since you applied, and most importantly, if you do have a publication or perhaps you have an abstract that you developed, you can do that. It is very important that you send it to an update school. It is very important that you send an update to a school that you really care about, or perhaps a school that you just never heard anything and you'd really like to go. Honestly, whether you'd like to go or not, you send an update letter. And another thing, on the topic of whether you would like to go or not, don't apply to any school that you wouldn't want to go, because that's a waste of money. Medical schools are hard to get into regardless of whether you have a 4.0, 520, or 528. Medical school is hard to get into, period. What it matters is that you need to make sure that you are doing your due diligence to write your essays well, your personal statement well, you craft your story like someone who really would enjoy medicine. It's not just merely, I'm just applying to this school because that's what I thought it was. No. When I first started applying, I genuinely thought that this school's lower to get into, I would do that. I even had schools like some schools that I had to take out Charles Drew, some other schools that I don't remember right now. My mentor had to tell me, hey, no, go based off of where you would like to be, your location, ties, all of these other places. You want to make sure you're choosing it for you, not just because, my stats are not good enough. You are good enough. All right, let's start there. You are good enough. Thank you. Before we move on to the next point, on the topic of update letters, you want to make sure that the school that you're applying to or you're planning to send the update letters to accept those letters. Schools like Penn State does not accept update letters until like way past interview time. They don't accept update letters pre-interview. So if you've never been invited for an interview, don't bother sending an invite. An update to them, because they're just not gonna like it. And you don't want to get on the bad side of a school a particular school that you really would like to go. Try your best not to. All right. Okay. Our next point: pray. If you believe in God, pray. Pray, pray, pray. If you can't pray alone, pray with someone. Join a community. Ask them to pray for you. You never know how God moves when someone else is interceding on your behalf. It is something so miraculous that you know, a lot of the times we don't understand. There are a lot of things that goes behind the scenes. You need to pray. A lot of these people that go through these processes, I'm not saying that it's because they're not praying that they don't get in. It's just that God's favor is not fair. And if you don't pray, how are you going to get that favor? You need to pray. God knows you need the favor. But he also says that if you do not know, seek, ask, and it shall be given to you. So therefore, if you are demanding or seeking this acceptance, seeking this interview, why don't you pray and ask for it? This is a very good question for all of the Christians listening to me. Please try your best to pray. Irrespective whether you're on the AMCAS journey or not, try your best to pray about everything. And I'm guilty about this. A lot of the time I struggle just praying about all of the things that I want, all of the things that I need. So this is a reminder for me too. If you do not believe in God, however, try your best to find a community. I'm not saying go to church. It would be nice if you do go to church and have someone pray for you, but try to have someone that you can lean on, a support system, or just try your best not to dwell on the whole waiting game so much. All right. Okay, so next point, try your best. Attend conferences. and continue to network. Medicine and networking, they go hand in hand. They're like yin and yang. Networking is gold star for medicine. You will learn quickly when you start med school that networking, who you know, puts you where you will be. It places you where you will be. If you know someone, you reach out to them, they know you, they know who you are, your character, they will vouch for you in the sliviest moment that they have. You want to make sure you're connecting with people alike, people that are unlike you, and just people that you're interested in general. For example, I went to AACOMAS, which is the regional medical educational conference, earlier in October, the first week of October. I went to Yale University. That was where it was hosted, and I loved it. Just seeing all of these black, beautiful physicians. Some of them looked way too younger than me, but they were physicians. I was like, whoa, this is cool. So being able to see that representation and network with them was super duper cool. At that time, I had not even applied to Yale. So by the time I came back home, after talking to a lot of the students at Yale and a lot of the professors, I was like, whoa, why am I shutting that door for myself? I need to add Yale to my school list, regardless of how it plays out. So please network. Network. I also figured out that UConn had a full tuition there, and I also applied there later following that conference, because initially I thought they had out of state sort of bias, but no, actually they do also favor Northeastern applicants as well. So try your best, always try your best to network, figure out how things are working for you, and go about it that way. My last point, y'all, go out and have fun. Do not wait for others to reach out to you. Hey, are you free? What are you doing? No. Hey, I'm still waiting for my applications, but do you have some time next week? Can we grab some coffee? Can we grab some lunch? Take the initiative as well, because a lot of the times, if you do not speak up, people are thinking you're all here busy and all of that. But try to reach out and see how things play out, right? You need to be able to keep your community alive in your support system, and you need to do that by bonding. And the only way to bond is by communication, whether on the phone or how you're just going on dates. So please have fun. If you do not have friends like me, try your best to make friends or travel, do something. The whole point is do something. Time is money. Do something. Do you know how to paint? You take pictures. Go take your camera, take pictures. Go just, you don't have to charge people. Take your camera, go walk around, take pictures. Figure out an opportunity to just use your camera and figure things out. You got this. All right, that's going to be the end of this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Benedicta, of this podcast, The Planet Itself. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you for tuning in. Honestly, this has been such a joy. It's Friday. I'm recording. I will be editing it to have it uploaded by Sunday. It's really been a fun journey to embark on. I will see you next time. Bye, and please stay sane. Don't go crazy over these cycles. Be blessed.